how to think in English like a native speaker. Are you struggling to speak English fluently because you keep translating everything in your head? Let me tell you a secret. The key to fluency is to think in English. In this video, I am going to show you practical steps to train your brain to think in English so you can speak confidently without hesitation. Stick with me until the end for a bonus tip that will make this process even easier. Why thinking in English is important? Let's start by understanding why thinking in English is so important. When you translate, it slows you down. You spend time thinking of the words in your native language, translating them, and then forming a sentence in English. That's a lot of steps. Thinking in English helps you skip this process, making your speech faster, clearer, and more natural. For example, imagine you're at a cafe and someone asks, "What would you like?" If you are translating, it might take you 5 to 10 seconds to answer. But if you are already thinking in English, you can reply immediately, like, "I will have a coffee, please." So let's look at how you can train your brain to think in English. Tips to start thinking in English. Tip number 1. Label your surroundings. The first tip is to label your surroundings in English. Start with objects around you, your desk, your phone, your coffee mug. Say their names out loud in English. For example, this is Alem, this is our chair, this is my phone. Simple, right? Over time, your brain will automatically associate these objects with their English names, so you won't need to translate anymore. Tip number 2. Talk to yourself. The second tip is to talk to yourself in English. It might sound strange, but it works. Describe what you are doing in English. For example, I'm making breakfast. I'm frying eggs. Now I'm adding salt. Simple sentences like these help you build fluency and confidence. Tip number 3. Build your vocabulary bank. The third tip is to expand your vocabulary. Learn 5 to 10 new words every day and use them in sentences. For example, if you learn the word delicious, use it throughout the day. This coffee is delicious. This sandwich is delicious. The more you use new words, the more natural they will feel. Tip number 4. Practice inner dialogues. Tip 4 is to practice inner dialogues. Before you go to bed, think about your day in English. Ask yourself questions like, what did I do today? What was my favorite moment? For example, today I went to work. I met my friends for lunch. We had pasta. It was delicious. This practice helps you get comfortable forming sentences in English. Tip 5. Use English media. The fifth tip is to immerse yourself in English media. Watch TV shows, listen to podcasts, or read books in English. If you are watching a show, start with subtitles. Repeat phrases you hear and try to mimic the tone and pronunciation. For example, if a character says, "I can't believe it," pause the video and repeat it, "I can't believe it." This will help you think and sound more natural in English. Common mistakes to avoid. Now let's talk about mistakes to avoid when training your brain to think in English. Don't aim for perfection. It is okay to make mistakes. This is how you learn. Avoid over-translating. Trust yourself and try to think directly in English, even if it's not perfect. Be patient. Thinking in English takes time, so don't get discouraged if it doesn't happen overnight. Remember, consistency is the key. Bonus tip: mindset matters. Before we wrap up, here is the bonus tip I promise you. Change your mindset. Tell yourself, I'm an English speaker. Stop saying I am learning English and start saying I speak English. This small shift in mindset can make a huge difference in your confidence and fluency. Remember, your brain believes what you tell it. Let's quickly recap. To start thinking in English, label your surroundings, talk to yourself, build your vocabulary, practice inner dialogues, and immerse yourself in English media. Avoid perfectionism. Stop over translating and be patient. Now it's your turn. Start with one tip today, label your surrounding, and let me know in the comments how it goes. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more English tips. I'll see you in the next video.